I've been planning for the pigs for a long time. I kept this pig almost 5 to 6 years. What I do always, I used to tie them in the rough, not to go anywhere. And I don't want any pig apart from mine to come here.
Taenia solium, or what we call the pig tapeworm, is one of the very big health challenging problem because there is a big burden of disease as a result of Taenia solium. It's one of the neglected tropical diseases we have in Uganda and beyond Uganda. When we get this Taenia solium, oftentimes the affected persons end up with neurocystocytosis. And once the brains are damaged, the brains are affected, they end up with epilepsy.
Taenia solium is a zoonotic parasite. It's got a very interesting life cycle. Like many parasites, it uses 2 hosts. The humans as a definitive host, that's where the parasite is going to have its adult stage. That would be a tapeworm, as you're familiar with, as sort of a long worm, and that lives in the small intestine of humans. In those cases where there is a very low coverage of latrines, so people are openly defecating outside, and pigs are maybe kept under a free-range system, that's an opportunity for pigs to eat human fecal material containing the eggs of this parasite. Once the eggs get into the porcine host, that's the intermediate host, they hatch and they migrate through the body and will create cysts. Those cysts are very small and they tend to happen in the muscles of the pig, but they can also go to the nervous system and to the eyes. If a human then eats pork, which is undercooked with the cysts in, those cysts then become the adult tapeworm and the cycle continues. But this particular parasite has quite a nasty sting in the tail because if a human ingests the egg of the parasite, in this case, the egg will hatch and migrate through the human body to insist in our musculature, but also in our central nervous system. And this is where the real health impacts of this parasite come, because if you have a parasite cyst in your brain, in your central nervous system, that can either cause neurological deficits because it's a space-occupying lesion, or as the parasite dies and the body tries to go and get rid of that foreign matter, that can cause swelling in the brain. One of the most common symptoms of cysticercosis, particularly neurocysticercosis when it's in the central nervous system, is epileptic seizures.
Uganda is unique in its own way. One, it's the leading producer and consumer of pork meat in the East African region. There is also a lot of export, both ready to cook or the live pigs. And it's unique in that this huge production is usually from the backyard.
Sometimes I buy from a farm, and sometimes I buy from someone who buy even one pig and he rear for a period of time. Then, so if time comes to sell, I just go and buy. Weekend I always sell more than 20 kilos. Weekend I always suffer about 40, 50 there.
This disease, the neurocysticercosis, is dilapidating because it presents itself as epilepsy. So seizures, severe headache, and it can even cause death. And it's been shown by the WHO that 30% of the cases of epilepsy we know are actually due to neurocysticercosis. One biggest challenge is trying to understand and coming up with methodologies which aim to change behavior and hence practices, and therefore controlling the parasite, either at the pig level or at human level.
In Kitgum district, we don't have any slaughtering facility for pigs. So you find there's pork joints in various areas. They slaughter from different areas, then they take to the joint. We had a lot of challenges because of cysticercosis. There were very many places they don't have paid latrines. They defecate outside, and that's the problem.
We have been getting some jumps in the meat when we slaughter. Before I slaughter, or I take it to be slaughtered, I need to check if there's another chick inside the meat. So I always open the mouth of the pig. I pull the tongue out I see under the tongue. So when we see them already there, it's actually, we see them, tell them that this pig is sick. It's not good for our consumption. And just this morning, when we were traveling to my place here, I've just got one. That's this morning. So and I leave it there.
By the time when they came to buy it, they gave us money, almost 650. But immediately they said that let's go and see it if the pig is not what? It's not bad. Immediately, yes, they have seen, they have find it out from another thing behind there. They saw it. And immediately, yes, they have seen that the pig is fall from the meat also. They say that they cannot go with it and they leave it like that.
The business will not run constant. That's our worry when there's a sickness, because I would have now brought a pig from the village. Due to that one, I left the pig. So if I don't get, by reaching evening, I must stay without slaughtering pig tomorrow. I see. So it does make me break when I'm not interested to break.
Government support to farmers, I would say, is in various forms. The first support is the recruitment and deployment of the technical personnel to ensure production is done in a quality way. Government provides infrastructures. One of the infrastructure is the slaughter facilities that government provides where these animals are slaughtered. After the infrastructure, also the policies, trade policies that enable favorable trade environment. Where you have your pig, you can sell to whoever gives you the price you want.
The Livestock CRP work started in 2012, and that's the first major project that focused on the pig value chain in Uganda. The reason why we identified piggery value chain in Uganda is because the demand for pork somehow keeps rising. But there are no supportive policies. Piggery is not one of the prioritized sectors by the government. For us to be able to address the issues that we have in the pig value chain, it's very critical that we have different players coming in together and we focus on how to co-create some of the solutions to enable our pig value chain or the pig sector to thrive in Uganda.
We have had with Makerere a project under ILRI called Build Uganda that is focusing on building capacity at PhD and masters. While that was going on, we also realized that we like to build capacity for the people who are deeply involved in the inspection sector. We trained a total of 40 meat inspectors across the country because of the resources that was available under that project.
When we came from school, we have that elementary knowledge. But when I entered the system in local government, I was picked and taken for special training in meat inspection. It built Uganda. But what I got from there was so much. And now it's helping us. And we are helping now the whole Kitgum, the public, and what.
This parasite is something that could be so easy to deal with. You know, you think about the life cycle, we just need to get people using latrines and we just need to get pigs being kept in a good, secure, confined environment. But we know that it's never as simple as that. So actually, even though we could break the transmission through these sort of improvements in sanitation, improvements in pig production or deworming of pigs and people, trying to get that sort of behaviour change is really difficult.
We cannot do alone as Government of Uganda, as Ministry of Health. We need to bring on board the different stakeholders, our partners, the NGOs, and other relevant stakeholders. When we bring stakeholders on board, we share best practices, we collaborate in research, and we share the best findings. And the research can help to further enhance the policies that we have.